Man, the air just came on. Welcome on back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and finish out Frank Zappa's The Grand Wazoo with the final song here, Blessed Relief, which, if I'm thinking correctly, probably refers to, you know, the feeling when you finally get to use the bathroom. That sweet, sweet relief. So we won't eat the yellow snow on this one, but let's go ahead and figure out and listen to how good this relief is. We'll talk about it after. Here we go. It does feel relieving. Love that. This is very relieving. So loungy. Still Zappa. That's some really, really great horn playing. Like, really. Great bass too. These are the sweet spot. You gotta be loving these keys. jazzy it is, but quirky. Is that a talk box? Sounded like it for a second. Have those little sparks, and then this is so heavy with the guitar now coming in. I think that Blessed Relief is a really nice conclusion to the album. It kind of like, it nicely comes downhill from some of the zaniness that we had before, some of the very complicated compositions that we heard before that I had trouble with listening to. You know, like, there's a lot going on in some of those previous tracks, but this one brings it all to a nice bit of closure at the end, and a very smooth road to closure at the end here, where we basically had three solos, the horns, the keys, and then Zappa on the guitar at the end there. It's probably going to be Sal Marquez on the first horns with the solos and everything, and then George Duke on the keyboard secondary. I think this is a really, really nice composition. Once again, a really nice smooth road to end the album on. And I'm really enjoying like the overall sound here. Because, for example, listening to the drumming is very busy pretty much throughout the whole track. Like, it is busy, but it's done in a way that can be both, very subtle, but also still has power. And I think that's like the part of the capabilities of a really great jazz drummer when it comes to that specific, right? Keeping the beats, providing that subtlety, but at the same time, allowing yourself the freedom to push forward a little bit, to put a little power into that. So, Mr. Dunbar, I think, does a great job of that. And then coming into the first solo, we have those few horns that come in before that. And then I really like that nice sway, because it's very leisurely sway with the horns that come in. And you hear those little jump cuts of, for lack of a better word, Zappa's zaniness, right? Like the little runs, right? You get a little bit of those, but they're few and far between, and they are incredibly fleeting. It's barely even there. And then moving into the first solo from Sal, like I said, the horns are very beautiful, very gorgeous to listen to, very rich. And then moving into Duke, oh, come on. The jazzy keys from Duke are always a joy to listen to. They're always pleasurable, and they just glass, just pure glass. And then moving into Zappa, I like Zappa's guitar solo here because yeah, it's jazzy, but like I said during it, it's still kind of quirky in a lot of ways, right? Especially when he first comes in, he comes in kind of standard, like okay, jazzy, jazzy, but then there's like little notes that he plays that kind of like I don't know. To me, they're quirky. That's the one word I can think of when I'm describing them. But he never goes, for lack of a better word, off the deep end. He never throws himself off, out of the ring. He stays nicely focused here. And I think that this is a really good track to also introduce people who may not know anything about Frank Zappa. I think that this would be a great track to kind of get them at least wading in the pool, because you don't want to dive into the deep end, as I would say I probably did. The first track with Montana, that even though that's not like a necessarily deep track, but you know what I mean? Like sometimes, well, at least for me, I'm talking about my experience, I think that this would have been a nice starting place to kind of like, okay, this is nice and jazzy. Then we can kind of slowly move into the deeper stuff. But it's worked out for me, so hey, what do I know? Anyways, this was a really, really nice album. I really like this, I'm going to say it's strange, big band kind of jazz music that we have here on Grand Wazoo. Obviously, I've been suggested many, many other albums from Zappa, so who knows where we'll go next, but I'm glad that we came here, and sometimes that's what it's down to with the journey. So appreciate you guys sticking around and of course listening to the music alongside with me. You can of course let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. You can follow me over on Twitter, support the channel on Patreon. As always, I appreciate you. Come back tomorrow, and I'll see you then, guys. Bye.